bench number.
In a Flintridge Prep senior guard, Kendall Kikawa, who had 17 to lead Prep to a 51-45 victory over Poly in overtime. Big win. Poly was undefeated in league. Kendall, 10 points in a row, end of regulation and overtime. Carried the team late. What do you feel like your job was, and how proud of your team were you?
I was so proud of our team. We just hung with them all game. We were up early, and then things kind of went south, and they took the lead. But we were able to hang tight, hit some clutch shots, and then down the stretch, we just carried that feeling from last time we played them with us. We're gonna let ourselves loose to them again. And for me personally, my teammates just had the utmost confidence in me. To get our team the best shot possible, and so I was just taking what the defense was giving me, giving our team some offense down the stretch.
Okay, so what was the difference between winning and losing, and two, what does this win mean to you as a senior in your last home game against them?
This win is just extraordinary for us. We'll need a little help to possibly get a share the league title, but in terms of our team individually, just going into the playoffs, this is huge momentum. Knowing that in the month of January, and then I guess this game in February, we've won I think 8 of our last 10. So just having that momentum carrying into the playoffs is huge for us. Knowing that now we could probably get a home game in the first round, it gives our team so much confidence to come out with a win, especially against these guys, crosstown rivals, and especially losing them last time. It just helps us out so much.
Okay, and then last question. You just mentioned it, but I was going to ask you, what have you guys done so much better in the last, say, 10 games than maybe the first 10 games?
I think we've been moving the ball a lot more. I think in the first half of the season, we're kind of struggling to find our identity. With 9 seniors, the chemistry, we always had the potential to have great chemistry, but I think it took us a little time to find it, just because everybody's still trying to find their way on the team. Everybody kind of wants to get their own, it being their last year, but in the second half of the year, everybody's really grown into their roles and embraced their roles on the team, and it's really just helped us have the most success possible.
Flintridge Prep coach Garrett O'Hara, he's also the athletic director. Coach, huge overtime win over Pasadena Poly. Kendall came up big. Who else really stepped up, and what did Kendall do for you late?
Well, senior night, so we had our Julian Diaz. I'm glad he got to start, both halves, and to join the other senior starters. But tremendous defensive effort. Jake carried us inside in the first, and then Kendall just carried that through in the second half. He got some baskets for us. I think a big switch. They had a 2-on-1. They missed the layup. Kendall comes down and makes a tough floater, and that really kept us in the game. We're down 5, and we held together. So having that lead at half and seeing it squandered a bit, and to fight back to send it to overtime, and then Kendall just put us on his shoulders.
On the other end of the court, what did you guys do to try to minimize Poly's offense?
Yeah, these guys are really familiar with each other and their games. They play each other so many times. So we tried to limit their good scoring, high scoring guys. They hit 9 threes against us the first time.
Well, and I think John Genske, arguably their best player, I think he only finished with 7, I think.
Yeah, he hit that big bucket
with 5 seconds to go
to tie it. But so John is the focus of us, and
he's outstanding.
Bowen, so the 2 seniors are the guys we had to key on, and that's what we try to do, is limit their high scoring guys and see what the other guys could do.
And I asked Kendall the same thing, but in your opinion as the coach, what's been the difference in the second half of the season compared to the first half when you guys were maybe 500 team and now you guys are playing outstanding basketball?
Just the trust in one another. There's 9 seniors, that core of that team. They're like brothers.
Okay.
And just figuring out roles and stuff. It took us a little while, but to see them playing for one another, playing together, and making sacrifice. So that showed tonight.